Welcome to the ultimate island road trip. This week's road trip is probably going to be the coolest one that we've done all year. If you haven't been here before, hi, I'm Chantel, and my boyfriend Jacob and I left our homes in Australia to travel Europe for a year, and today we are going from London straight across the island to go on the ultimate 7-day road trip. We're going to be travelling from Killarney to Galway to Inishmore to Dublin up to Belfast and then back to Dublin before we head off on our next adventure. We've been planning this road trip for the longest time, so we've made sure it ticks off every island bucket list item that we could fit in 7 days. So come along with us as we pick up our rental car and take you along the journey with us. First stop is Killarney. We flew into Kerry Airport, picked up our car and drove straight to the national park where we spent the afternoon walking around. And even though it was a super gloomy and rainy day, everything was so green and so beautiful, and that's pretty much just the whole of Ireland. Good morning everyone, and welcome to our island road trip vlog. We've started off our road trip. We actually arrived in Ireland yesterday. We flew into Kerry Airport and then picked up our rental car and we've driven down, I think it's like 20 minutes, half an hour, the town of Killarney, and that's where we stayed last night, and it's really beautiful here. We went and did like a little hike / walk yesterday when we arrived before we even checked into our accommodation, and then today we're going to Galway. We're going to stay in Galway for 3 days, but then do like little day trips out from there, and then from there we're going to Dublin. I'm going to try and not talk too much in this video, so I'll probably leave it at that for now, and just bring you along, show you all the beautiful scenery that is here in Ireland. We're actually with a local expert, Jacob. He's already done all of these places. He came to Ireland back in November of 2019. It's now January 2025, so like 5 years later, and Ireland was his absolute favorite place that he did on his like 2-month Europe trip. So he's been saying he wants to take me to Ireland literally this whole time, so we finally gotten here at like the end of our year-long trip. This is one of the last places we'll be, so very excited to be here. We always thought we would be going here in summer to do something a little bit different than what Jacob did last time, but it's obviously in the dead of winter right now. I think February is like the coldest month. Sorry, Jacob just put his stuff in the back of the car. It's like the beginning of February now. It's the 2nd of February today. It's my birthday next week. But yeah, it's the dead of winter, so it's similar timing to what he saw last time, but who knows? We might even come back again one day. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to try not talk too much in this beginning clip because I feel like I always ramble on about nothing that really matters, and you're here to come and do a road trip around Ireland with me. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. Let's go. My phone is ready to go, so let's go. Also, this is my first time driving on the left-hand side of the road, right-hand side of the car since we left Australia. It's so good. Like, it feels natural again. Not that driving at all feels natural to me anymore. It felt very scary yesterday getting back on the road. Our first stop today was the Killarney National Park again. We drove from our accommodation to a different side of the national park today to go on a hike that Jacob actually did last time he was here in 2019. He didn't have a car back then, but he hired a bike for the day. So if for whatever reason you decide not to get a car, you can definitely still get around Ireland without one. We only booked one night in Killarney, and in hindsight we definitely should have booked 2, but that meant today we were on our way to Galway. On the drive there we saw this like tractor parade, and there was just like a million tractors driving down the road. It was so cool, but it was like a 3-hour drive, I think I mentioned, and then we arrived in Galway, went out for dinner, explored the town, and got ready for the next day. Good morning everyone. This car does not have a spot for me to sit here, sorry. We are about to head off for the day. We arrived in Galway last night. It's really nice here. We walked around the streets last night, went out for dinner. We're here for 3 nights, and today we're off on a little road trip out to the cliffs of Moher, I think they're pronounced. So we're going to stop at like a Tesco or a supermarket on the way, grab some breakfast, grab something for lunch as well, and then drive there. I think it's about like an hour and a half drive. So let's go. I'm going to pick Jacob up from the front of our accommodation. He just ran back in to get his ski jacket. And then, yeah, we're on our way. Let's go. I'm keen. Ireland so far is beautiful. Yesterday was like the most stunning things I've ever seen. So that was super nice, super lovely. I'm loving it here. The weather today is not as good. Like yesterday we had blue skies. Today it's like all white clouds. But, you know, whatever. I think it rains a lot here. So not much we can do about that. It's so cold. We arrived at the cliffs of Moher and it was so windy and so cold, but still so beautiful. As you can see, they're just these massive cliffs and such an iconic Irish view. We spent a few hours taking photos, walking along the cliffs and just enjoying the beautiful views that were there. Day 4, we got up super early to go and catch a ferry across to the island of Inishmore. The plan was to hire a bike once we got there and just ride around the whole island all day, which is exactly what we did. Good morning everyone, welcome back. This morning we've taken a ferry out to one of the arid islands here in Ireland. We've hired bikes, as you can see, and we're just going to cycle around and enjoy today. I'll bring you along for everywhere we see. Today was probably my favourite day that we had on our whole island trip. We just got to explore this whole island. We felt like we had it all to ourselves and it was beautiful. We saw so many rainbows and it was just so pretty and it was just such a fun and unique day. Leave the bikes here because I don't think we'll get them up there. We're out biking to the wormhole on Inishmore right now. We've literally got our own private tour guide that we didn't ask for. I think we're going to have to give him a massive tip at the end because he's literally been guiding us the whole way and I don't think he can read the signs. This is him. This is crazy. night was our last night in Galway. So we've woken up early this morning and we've come to Diamond Hill. It's in the national park here. I'll put the name on the screen. And we're going to go do a hike this morning before we head off to Dublin. And tonight we're dropping off the car and then we've got 3 more nights in Dublin after this. So yeah, let's go head off on Diamond Hill. It looks beautiful. I'm so excited. It is super windy up here, but look, that's so cool. This is where we're going, still a long way up. Hello everyone, welcome back. It's a few hours later now. As you can see, I've had a shower, changed, all that good stuff. We have made it to Dublin. We had that hike this morning at Diamond Hill. That was really, really nice. Really enjoyed that. We were only going to do like the lower half of the hike because we didn't really have that much time, but we decided to just YOLO it and we did the full upper loop of the hike as well. And that was definitely worthwhile. We really, really liked it. But then we kind of had to race back because we had to drop off our car by 3:30 today. I think we dropped it off at like 4:26 or something, and like you have like a 1 hour grace period, and it was like a 4-hour drive from the mountain and through like the few stops we wanted to go through on the way. So anyways, that was really good. We're checked in now. I've just like set up the place. Jacob's having a shower, but I've just set up the place because it is so much better to like fully settle in. Like, I got the things out I need, like plugged in my chargers and stuff on my bedside table. We've also brought like a Google TV with us for our travel, so I've just like set that up. It just makes everything so much better when you're like settled in at home, and when you do that like straight away, so we don't have to come back tonight after dinner and like settle that you know, stuff up. So I've just done that. We're gonna go out for dinner tonight to a pub. What was it called? Jake, let me check what it was called. Temple Bar is the place that we are going to try and get into tonight. Apparently it's very popular, very busy. I just touched something on the remote. So we're gonna try and go there for dinner tonight. Very keen to try it. Apparently it's very popular, so that's the end of like our road trip part of the vlog. But obviously we've driven here. We're in Dublin for 3 days, so I'll bring you along for our next 3 days in Dublin. So excited to be here. We're also going to do like a day trip up to Northern Ireland from here as well. Day 6 was our first day without the car, so we decided to stay around Dublin city centre and explore all there was to see there. We did end up picking up some public transport cards so we could catch the tram and not have to worry about not being able to get anywhere, which was really, really good. They were a little bit expensive, but worthwhile being able to see everything there was to see in Dublin. Just waking up. It's 6 a.m. and today we are going to go and do a trip up to Northern Ireland. We're in Dublin at the moment, but we're taking like a bus tour up to Northern Ireland. So in case you couldn't tell, we had to get up very, very early for our day trip up to Northern Ireland because I think it's like a 3-hour drive or something like that. So we met our bus before the sun even was up, and then we drove straight up to Belfast. Once we arrived, we had the option of doing one of two activities, either a black taxi tour or a tour of the Titanic Museum, and Jacob and I decided to do the black taxi tour. If you're not aware, the black taxi tours are basically tours by local guides who lived through the troubles and the conflicts in Belfast and divided communities that are still in Belfast today, which is pretty crazy. So I learned a lot from that tour, and so did Jacob, and we're really glad we did that. It took about an hour and a half, and I think we were in Belfast for all about 2 hours before we headed off and continued to see some of the beautiful sights in Northern Ireland, which, as you can see in some of these clips, are just stunning.
We've come a long, long way together, through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should.